witchy and it's in New England, it's in the 1800s, you bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna pick it up. Do not jump up there. Absolutely not. No. Oh, because I said so. Come on, buddy. Ow, 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 ow. Ah. Everything in the world is just hot garbage. So if I want to eat my Greek lemon roasted potatoes on the internet, gosh darn it, I'm gonna do it. Howdy partners, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex and today I want to start a weekly reading vlog and it's going to be library book themed because I don't think I can even hold these all up. Ow. Let me just get a little more back here. Way back. I have 10 books checked out from the library that have to get read and returned pretty soon. And I thought it would be fun if we did like a themed weekly reading vlog where I try to get through as many of these as I possibly can. See, there's so many and they're so big, you can't even see them. What day is it? It is Monday, September 8th. And before we get into my loose reading plans, which I do have a loose reading plan for these based on the due dates, I wanted to update if you watched my Welcome Back September reset. I moved across the country for hopefully the last effing time in my life video, which I will link somewhere on the screen. I have been struggling to get a job. I guess it's just competitive in this area, whatever, it is what it is. But I had a pretty good interview today and I have another interview for somewhere else tomorrow. So I'm really hoping by the end of September we can achieve that goal that I put on that must-do goal that I put on my September whiteboard, which is get a job. That's the life update. I don't have a watch on. It's like 5:40 p.m. I had a little bit of a late start today because Dan had a little piddle on my carpet and it smelled so strong. It woke me up at 3 a.m. And then the boys and Claudette just scream for food at like starting at 4:30 a.m. So I've been waking up really early and having some stressful situations with the animals. They're all fine. I think Danny just had an accident and she didn't wake me up in time to take her out. So it is what it is. But I had to clean it up right away. And then at that point, I just was like, let me just wait up and feed the cats. And then it was 5 a.m. and I was like, I deserve something to feel joy. So I ate the rest of some lemon cheesecake ice cream I had from Kroger. If you have a Kroger near you and they still have that flavor, please get it because it's so good. Team Lemon, stand up. Woo! I feel pumped. I feel ready to go. Oh, I had a Coke Zero before I took my everything shower. I'm a little hectic right now, but yeah, I finished up God Emperor of Dune, which is book 4 in the Dune series. I wanted to finish up at least one of my current reads before I started this vlog, so that's why we're starting a little late, but I do feel confident that I might be able to read a book in one sitting tonight. So let's start with where we're gonna start. These 3 books out of the 10, I have run out of my renewals, so they have to be returned by Wednesday. So it's Monday, September 8th, 5:45-ish p.m. They have to get back Wednesday, September 10th. I have Skeleton Crew by Stephen King, which is a collection of short stories, including The Monkey, which just came out. The film adaptation just came out, I think, earlier this year. It's on Hulu. I really want to watch it. It has good reviews. So I wanted to read the story collection, including The Monkey, before I watched it. So that's going to be priority. Maybe number 1. I don't know if I'm going to start here because these other 2 are kind of calling to me. The Persians is by Sanam Mahloudji, and if I'm remembering correctly, this is a generational family saga about a family from Iran that now lives in the United States. In America, yeah, meet the Valiant family. In Iran, they were somebodies. In America, they're nobodies. A darkly funny, life-affirming debut novel following 5 women from a once illustrious Iranian family as they grapple with revolutions, personal and political. Something about the cover, the title, the synopsis, like I usually don't gravitate towards generational like family dramas. There are quite a few that I have read and have enjoyed, but sometimes I find them boring or honestly triggering for my own family generational bullshit trauma. But I really want to read this one, and it honestly looked like it's going to be a pretty quick read. It is up 365-ish pages. Font is looking good. Yeah, so I might start with this one. But I also have Swordheart by Kingfisher, and my library has the prettiest copy, and I just have not read Kingfisher in quite some time. I think the last one I read is What Moves the Dead, like 3 years ago. I'm just like very behind in my Kingfisher backlog. reading whatever, and she just came out with Hemlock and Silver, which I think looks and sounds really good, but I've seen some mixed reviews. If you've read it, please let me know. This one has really great reviews. I think it's like a cozy romantasy. From New York Times bestselling author T. Kingfisher comes a delightful fantasy romance between a widowed housekeeper and her unlikely sworn protector. And I think the sword is like a character, perhaps? I don't know. His name is Sarkis, and he's an immortal warrior trapped in a prison of enchanted steel. Yeah, so I think I think it's gonna be cozier than what I typically gravitate towards, but I just love T. Kingfisher. I prefer her darker works, like What Moves the Dead is like a funny, dark kind of horror. I don't know, it wasn't really horror, it was like fungi type of a situation, but my favorite by her is still by far Nettle and Bone, which is like a dark fairy tale type of story. But I just love this cover, I love the book, I don't know. So I really think I'm probably gonna start with one of these two tonight, and then Skeleton Crew before Wednesday. So we have our work cut out for us. This one's the longest, but it is short stories, so I could honestly start the Persians or Swordheart and then kind of like intermittently read the stories, but honestly, I usually just like read his short story collections as if it's a novel anyway. So that's where we're gonna start, and then I have quite the stack to go. These ones I have some time. I have a couple more weeks on these, but I really do want to get them read as soon as possible so I can get them back to the library and see what my new release section has available to me to pilfer, because these were all, like honestly, none of these were holds. These are all just books that I found in my new releases section. We have The Bewitching by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and this one is brand spanking new. Everyone's reading it. I need to read it. What else do we have? What's this one? This one was a sci-fi. Illuminous by Sylvia Park. I think it was a sci-fi. Let me see. Okay. Ow! You've seen the stack. I can't hold it anymore. Did I break a nail? Because that'll piss me off. No, I'm good. This one is I Once Had a Family. At least the earliest version of me had a family. In a reunified Korea of the near future, the sun beats down on a junkyard filled with abandoned robots broken down for parts. 11-year-old Ruji sifts through scraps, searching for a piece that might support her failing body. There among the piles of trash, something catches her eye, a robot boy, so lifelike and strange, unlike anything she's ever seen. So this is a futuristic robot situation. This came out in March 2025. Again, the cover was just the color scheme. All of it was speaking to me. And if we're talking dystopian, futuristic, sci-fi, and now you've got robots, you also have my attention. What else we have here? Beside the Rising Tide. This is by Emily Jane, and I actually borrowed this from the library quite some time ago. I think when it came out, yeah, March 2025, earlier this year, and I started a couple pages and I just wasn't feeling it at the time. But at its core, the synopsis, this is a book for me. It's a romance, but we're taking place on Pearl Island, filled with fireworks, beach days, and carnival rides, not to mention the strange sea creature that they rescue from a pool. Then one late summer day, Timmy disappears. Okay, so Jenny and her new best friend Timmy, when they're 10 years old, there's a sea creature at like the pier. We're looking at like a Jersey Shore situation, boardwalk, and then 30 years later, Jenny is desperate to escape the fatigue of her career and her soon-to-be ex-husband. So she's obviously gonna probably go back to wherever this is, and maybe we're gonna try to find Timmy. This is a very heavy, floppy paperback. I love the cover, and the reason that I picked this back up, even though I kind of like soft DNF'd it at first, is because I just read an arc by Emily Jane that is coming out actually, I think tomorrow. Yeah, I think it comes out tomorrow. It's called American Werewolves, and it was really, really good. So I will put a picture up on the screen, and I will double check the pub date and put it up here, but I really loved it. It follows a girl that is trying to figure out what happened to her murdered roommate. She just can't believe that no one is like investigating it because she was an exchange student from France. So she takes it upon herself to like deal with the things that she's having to deal with and try to figure out who murdered her roommate. And she finds herself embroiled in this crazy like werewolf business suit scheme. You just have to read it. It's really, really good. We're looking at werewolves, and it has like a lot of the lore, but it's also very much a commentary on sexism and men versus women in the workplace, really just men versus women in general. So I highly recommend that. I just really liked it. So I was like, let me pick something else up by this author. So we have that. We also have The Watermark. This is by Sam Mills, and this one was honestly, again, floppy paperback cover by, but the synopsis, just the little tidbit. A quirky literary love story like no other, one that veers wildly from contemporary Britain to Soviet Russia to a bizarre but recognizable future. Rachel and Jamie, their story isn't simple. It might not even be their story. It's like a utopian, like love story through the ages type of a thing. I don't know, just, it's one of those books that just something about it keeps drawing me to it, so I really want to get to this one ASAP as well. We also have Rose of Jericho. This is by Alex Grecian. This is a supernatural horror story where ghosts and ghouls are the least of a witch's problem in 19th century New England. Like, if it's witchy and it's in New England, it's in the 1800s, you bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna pick it up. I mean, we have a noose on here, so I definitely think we're gonna have some witches, like, not being treated the way that they should be treated. This one is a really quick, short one. This is May 2025. I have been seeing Alex Grecian as an author more often, but I've never read anything by this author, so I am also excited to get to this one. Stack is gonna start taking over. I'm excited to get to all of these. Okay, we have Silver Cloak by L.K. Stephen. This just came out in July, and this is sorry for the gas. The struggle I'm having not taking this off to look at that. I would never disrespect a library copy like that, but this map is absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to buy this. Bish, read it first. It's a new fantasy. That's all I know, and that's all I really care about. I have been seeing it quite a bit, and this addictive new fantasy series set in a world where magic is fueled by pleasure and pain. An obsessive detective infiltrates a brutal gang of dark mages, knowing that one wrong move will get her killed. Say no more. That's actually the first time I even bothered to see what this book was about, so I'm even more excited to get to this one than I was. I will probably save this one for more towards the end, just because a fantasy is like a new start to a fantasy, and if this map is anything to go off of, it's gonna be in depth. Oh, I can just go this way. Perfect. So I can get it from, I get this side from the front, and then I can get the rest of it from the back. I'm sure there's like a thing of it online, so I'm excited to get to that. This one is Angel Down. This is by Daniel Kraus. I have read another book by him, Whalefall, which I did enjoy, but I think I only ended up giving it 3 stars. And I picked this one up off of a recommendation of someone that I am friends with on Instagram. She read it as an ARC, and this one came out July 2025 as well. She could not stop talking about, like, this is the book of the year. This needs to be mandatory reading in schools. And I believe stylistically, yeah, it is all, the entire book is one sentence. There's no periods in this, period. There's no periods, period. So that's all I need to know. And the cover, the author, the title, all of it. Like, this is a NetGalley, me requesting, what interested you about this, bitch? Everything. And then, of course, we have The Bewitching by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. 3 women in 3 different eras encounter danger and witchcraft in this eerie, multi-generational horror saga. Back then, when I was a young woman, there were still witches. That was how Nana Alba always begins the story she told her great-granddaughter Minerva. Stories that have stayed with Minerva all her life. So we've got some witchy, we've got some horror, we've got anthology, we've got fantasy, we've got magical realism, we've got dystopian, we've got sci-fi, we've got generational trauma. This is just making me so excited to just plow through these. So I am definitely going to start back at the beginning where we said I will start either the Persians or Swordheart tonight. We'll put some B-roll, and then I will be back later on this eve before I go sleepy time, if that ever happens again for me. And we'll talk about what I picked up and what I think of it so far. Okay, TGL, subscribe if you haven't, and like the video already. Okay, bye. So it is a little after 10 p.m. and I'm binging. I'm sad. I can't put this down. And Allie said that it was going to be like a 50-50 on if I like this or not, because I'm typically not cozy fantasy kind of gal, and this is definitely cozy, but the yearning and the banter and the stakes are pretty low as far as what's happening, but I can't get enough of these two main characters. So this is following our main female character, Hala, and she is a widow. She's about 36 years old, and she finds herself kind of stuck literally and figuratively in her deceased husband's family home because her great uncle left her his estate, and the rest of the family is PO'd, and they're trying to get her to marry her cousin, which this is a fantasy in any way. They're not blood related cousins, neither here nor there, but oops. The hair gets stuck on my microphone like crazy, but that's on having 4 cats. Wouldn't have it any other way. She is locked in her room because she refuses to marry her cousin, and she's like, I'm just gonna end it all. And she sees this sword above the mantle that belonged to her great uncle, Silas, and she says, I'm gonna fall upon my sword, which is so dramatic, and I love that for her, because I'm just reading it, like, it's funny. This is a very funny book, and I know Kingfisher has that amazing ability to weave fantasy and magical realism with horror elements and with humor elements. This is no different, but when she unsheathes the sword, a man appears named Sarkis, and he's the sword bearer. Like, he's the protector of the sword. He lives in the sword, and whoever wields it, he's bound to be their bodyguard. So he basically like pushes through the family and gets her the heck out of Dodge, and they're now kind of on this quest to get someone to help her legally retain ownership of her dead great uncle Silas's estate, because it was bequeathed to her, and all she cares about is taking care of her nieces, and she's just so selfless. I love her. I love him. We're getting to a point halfway through where the flirtation is there. It's so magical. So as I was saying with the stakes, they're not super high, right? Because this is a cozy fantasy. Like, we're not cussing at each other. There's not blood and guts, but like, I'm gonna fall upon my sword, or, you know, he is manhandling her by throwing her into a ditch to escape from the bad guys. Like, it's not gory or blood and guts or horrific in any way, shape, or form, so we do have that cozy element to it, but there are definitely stakes, because here and there they accidentally like let slip, or not even accidentally, they like let people know what his state is as far as being in a sword, and there's some no do good out there people. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Ne'er-do-wells, that was the word. No good doers outers out there. There's some ne'er-do-wells that want the sword for themselves, so they are coming up against adversity. There's travelers on the road that don't necessarily agree with a woman and potentially like not her husband being with her, especially if she introduces him as her bodyguard instead of, sometimes they do fake that he's her husband, which I love that vibe for them. But everything about this is working for me, which I'm shocked to my core over, but I can't put it down. So I did want to come and update before I smash through the rest of it. And I don't know if I can finish tonight because I am getting kind of sleepy, but we are watching Monday Night Football, and we still have like 1.5 quarters to go before it's over, and I have to get Dan out to pee one more time so she doesn't hopefully have an accident in the middle of the night that I have to clean up, because I ran out of gloves, and oh, that's gonna really kill me if I have to touch dog urine barehandedly. So yeah, I am absolutely loving this. I will probably not check back in for the rest of the night. We will come back to it tomorrow morning when I wake up, have more to say. I don't know, who could be too sure. For now, I'm gonna continue reading, and we'll see how far I get, and I will update with that progress in the morning. Good morning. It is now Tuesday, September 9th, and I wanted to do a quick little check-in. I have to go do laundry at my sister-in-law's house because we still don't have a washer and dryer, but I read like another 100 pages, so I'm on 293 out of 435-ish. And I'm definitely gonna finish this today. So I am absolutely still loving it. The romance is just so good, and the ancillary characters that we have now in the priest and in the Knoll creature, loving it. So here for it. I honestly think that this book might be changing my mind on cozy fantasy, but only if it's as well written as T. Kingfisher is doing in this one. So I just wanted to do a quick little check-in, and I will probably check back in when I finish, when I get back later, and then we'll see what I'm going to start next. Morning. It is Wednesday, September 10th, and I have some updates, and we're also going to go to the library because today is the day that I was supposed to have read the 3 books that needed to go back today. I unfortunately did not get them done, but I think my plan is the renewals are just out, so as long as there's not a hold, I don't see why I can't check the 2 that I still have left to read in and then check them back out. So I'm going to try that. If it doesn't work, we're just going to move on because I do have a hold ready, and honestly, like, I'm going to check the new release section. Let's be 100%, let's be 100 on that. I'm gonna check the new release section, and if there's good stuff, I'm gonna pick it up. The main update is I don't think I updated that I finished Swordheart, but I did finish Swordheart last night, and I freaking loved this. This might have like changed my opinion on cozy fantasy. I am landing on, I think, a 4.5. It was it was 5-star energy the whole time through, but I think it needed to be a little bit shorter. The last 150 pages or so, I felt we were getting a little bit repetitive. It was the same kind of, we're getting into a tussle, we're getting tied up, we're escaping. We're getting into a tussle, we're getting tied up, we're escaping. So I did think that was a little bit repetitive, but I loved the romance. I loved the characters. They were all so fantastic, and T. Kingfisher is just such a fluid writer. Like, she can do so many different, this is Cash Money coming to say. She can do so, do not jump up there. Absolutely not. No. Oh, because I said so. Come on, buddy. Ow, 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 ow. Ah. It's called Life of a Cat Lady. Okay, that's gonna be my album name. Where was I? I just think T. Kingfisher can write so many different genres and also meld them together. Like, this one is very cozy. It's fantasy, it's fairy tale, it's quest. Oh, I love a quest. And this one just did not disappoint. So I honestly would love a copy like this actual edition for the shelves. So I'll be adding that to my wish list. But this was great. So this one can get returned today when we go to the library. The Skeleton Crew by Stephen King is the one that I haven't even started it. That one needs to get attempted to get returned and then checked back out. This is the other one, The Persians by Sanam Mahloudji. I did start this. I'm about 60 pages in and 64 pages in. I'm interested. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I am interested enough in the characters to obviously continue, so I am going to try to check this in and check it back out if I'm able to. Otherwise, I will pause it and pick it up at a later date if I have to, and we'll just move on to the next book in this library challenge for the week. But this is following 5 different women that are part of a multi-generational Iranian family that immigrated into the United States during the 1976, I believe, the Iranian Revolution, when basically like the not great people took over. I think that this is gonna be very sad. It's already just, it has this like very dark note over the characters because they had to leave their homes in an uprising and a revolution, and one of the characters, her daughter, actually stayed back with the grandmother. So there is even another generation that we have that is still in Iran, and it's just interesting so far to see how the characters are all related to each other and their thoughts and feelings on their current status, whether they're in the United States or we haven't gotten a POV of the daughter that's in Iran still. I don't know if we will. Yeah, we will, because I just looked. So I am interested to get to that. This one it's like 376 pages or so. So I think we can definitely get through this as long as I'm able to check it back out. The issue that I'm having is the writing style. It's a little jerky, not choppy, just we're in one era of time in one paragraph, and then with no break whatsoever we're back in the present, and there are a lot of Iranian terms that I'm obviously not familiar with that I'm having to look up, and I do plan on kind of doing a little bit of research on the actual Iranian Revolution of 1970s, so I'm not talking out of my ass during these updates. I want to be as accurate as I possibly can be, but if I'm understanding correctly and remembering just history correctly, it was when the militant Islamic control took over, when they were allegedly supposed to give the people a democracy. So it was during this time that this really rich family that had very high status, they left and they're heading to the United States. So we're getting present time dialogue and issues and conversations between the women and obviously the whole family, and then we're going back to the 1940s, we're going back to the 1960s, we're going back to the 1970s. And it's not that I have an issue with back and forth. I love a flashback type of story, especially when you're dealing with a multi-generational family drama like this is, and it is very historically detailed, and there is a lot to unpack here, a lot of thoughts and feelings I think I'm gonna have by the end of it. It's just the writing style. It's taking me back and forth too fast, and I'm kind of losing the thread of where I am up here as a reader. So I'm definitely not in a DNF mood whatsoever. I'm very interested in these characters, and I think that you're only 70 pages in. You could get used to the writing style, things could happen. But so far, not a lot has happened. We're kind of just getting a little bit of backstory on the individual women that we're getting the POVs from. So plan is, we're gonna take these plus Skeleton Crew back. We're gonna return Swordheart and some other ones that I have already finished previous to this vlog, and we're gonna see if I can recheck the Persians and Skeleton Crew back out. I'm gonna pick up my hole. We're gonna check the new release section, and I'm gonna be bold and brave and bring this camera with me, and we're gonna film it because this is a weekly reading vlog, and I'm committed to the bit. So yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit more coffee, and then we're gonna go to the library and see what we can find to add to this insane pile. Whoa. Who does she think she is? But like, I want to read all of these so bad, and like Swordheart being such a banger, there's gonna be other bangers in that pile. So am I gonna go and try to find even more bangers? Yeah. We'll do some life updates later. I was gonna get chatty again, but I am really excited to get to the library, so I'm gonna finish my coffee for the morning, and then we're gonna go do that. not gonna believe it, but I got more library books. So I was able to check in and then check back out the Persians, which I have out on the couch because I'm gonna get back into reading here in a little bit. But I also was able to check in and check back out Skeleton Crew by Stephen King. So we're no longer under as much pressure as I was. Well, that's debatable. We are still under quite a bit of pressure because my dumb ass got like 6 more books. So Too Old for This by Samantha Downing was the whole that I had ready. This is her newest thriller, and I have read all of her previous works, so I know that I always bitch and moan that thrillers are just like not it for me anymore, but I love almost everything that she puts out. There's only one book that I didn't really like by her. I'll put it up on the screen because I can't remember the name. It's the one where the girl's like walking away from a fire on the cover. It just like was not her usual work in my opinion, but I've been seeing a lot of people reading this and really enjoying it. It's a brand new release. It just came out this month, I think August, excuse me, it's September now. So I'm excited to read this. And then I also got Of Monsters and Mainframes by Barbara Truelove. All I know about this is it's AI, sci-fi, space related. I am enamored of this cover. I just think this is one of the best covers that's ever been made, ever seen before. And when I was walking by the girl at the desk at the library, she was like, oh my god, I just started this book and it's so good. So if the librarian tells you it's good, it's gonna be good. So now that I am, wait, did I just see Dracula? Together this motley crew will face down the ultimate evil, Dracula. Sci-fi monster mashup? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see the things now. I'm so even more excited to read this now than I was before, so that's great. I picked up another Stephen King to try to continue powering through. This is Carrie. This is his very first book that he published under Stephen King. So, and it seems it's a lot shorter than I thought it was gonna be, and I'm embarrassed to say I've never seen the original or the remake. So I'm gonna read this one eventually. The stack just gets longer and longer. I also picked up 2 more T. Kingfisher books, A House with Good Bones and Thorn Hedge. These are short little kings, and I could probably bust both of these out together in one sitting, and I'm excited for that because I just love Swordheart so much. These are darker, more of her horror themed books, but I love her horror writing as well. And these are just so short. Like this is 100 and something pages, 115. This is just about 210 or so. So we can get these done pretty quickly. And then, oh wait, that was it. Yeah, okay. So these 5 are the new ones to add to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I still have left from the previous library trip. So we've got this stack, we've got that stack, we've got Skeleton Crew by Stephen King, and then I have the Persians out there because I need to continue on with that. So I'm gonna pick back up with the Persians here and see what kind of work I can do. I do need to show you Dan because she's perfect. Hello. I do need to do the final edit and thumbnail and all that good stuff for my Book of the Month episode 11, which is going to be going up this week. I will put up some of my other episodes here on the screen, link them if you want to check them out. As usual, if you are enjoying this video or my Book of the Month challenges or whatever it is about me that you like, please like this video and subscribe because again, I'm feeling the YouTube lately. I'm back and I'm better than ever, allegedly. So I'm hoping to finish the Persians today, get that video finished up, scheduled to publish either tonight or tomorrow, and then we'll see what we're gonna pick up next because now that I don't have to pick up Skeleton Crew next, I'm kind of leaning to maybe some of these other shorter ones or again, the Watermark. I just don't know what it is about this. It's just telling me to read it. But also, Too Old for This by Samantha Downing. I did also just get the hold on Libby for the audiobook today, so I might start that one as well just because I can listen to the audiobook and like do some crochet projects I've been wanting to start / finish, cooking, cleaning, all that good stuff. I have been kind of off my audiobook game since I haven't been driving as much. We'll do that life update later because I did have some interviews this week / have some more coming up, so we'll chit chat about that in a little bit. But I'm gonna go sit. I just ate a bunch of tacos and read. Hello. I hope you guys enjoyed me eating potatoes. I can't believe I ate on the internet. That's insane behavior, but everything in the world is just hot garbage. So if I want to eat my Greek lemon roasted potatoes on the internet, gosh darn it, I'm gonna do it. Let me calm down. Hello. Hi. It is now Thursday, September 11th, 2025. And I had a job interview today, so I'm wearing my my nice tank top today. It went well, I think. Honestly, I would love to work there. It is a bit of a hike, but it is long-term care, which I've done before in Denver, and I really enjoyed it. It's a great service. Long-term cares typically service skilled nursing facilities and rehab facilities, so patients that are undergoing substance abuse treatment, elderly patients that are living in assisted living homes, patients of all ages that are discharged to skilled nursing facilities so they can recover from surgeries or illnesses or infections, things like that. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed there. I got another scam email, so I don't know if I talked, guys. I meant to talk about it in my September reset, like welcome to the new library video. But long story short, I applied to a job and then I got an interview offer. It was via Teams and it was just like typing answers to questions they asked me on Teams, which I thought was weird that we weren't doing like a video chat. So there were red flags from the get-go, but I'm so desperate for a job. I was like, hell yeah, brother, let's do it. So anyway, they were like, oh yeah, the job is yours, like 2 hours after I typed my responses to the questions. Red flag number 2. And there were many red flags the more into it I went, but I was talking to my husband and he was like, yeah, F it, just like keep going. So, you know, whatever. And then they even sent me like a decent enough legitimate looking job offer. Like they asked questions that a typical pharmacy interview would ask. So the length of research and effort that whoever was scamming me put into this was just astounding. And you know, I was like, I've been a pharmacist for almost 8 years. I was like, you don't scam a pharmacist? I don't know. I've just never had that happen before or seen it happen. But then I got hired, and also, mind you, this was for a remote position, and they immediately gave me the money that I asked for. So red flag number 3 right there. And yeah, when I got hired, they were like, we're gonna email you a check to print out and mobile deposit so you can buy your laptop and your work phone. And I was like, you can't do that. You can't just print a check off your email and mobile deposit it. Like, that's not real. So I did a very quick Google search, and by that I mean I searched scam, blah, 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 with the word Reddit at the end of it. And word for word, it had all of the things happening in that. Like what was happening to me was very well detailed in this Reddit post. So I called them out on it and they ghosted. So I got the same type of scam sent to me again for a job that I didn't even apply for this time. So at least I still responded. I was like, yeah, I'll interview. And then I thought about it and I was like, bitch, you're getting scammed again. So easy pickings over here, I guess. But besides that, that's the life update. Hopefully we'll hear some good news in the next few weeks. But I wanted to do some updates on the library books that I'm currently working on. So I'm almost halfway through the Persians, and it's okay. There's just not a lot happening. It's very slow burn, and it's very much going back how these folks made it to the US and just the generational trauma that has been built into them from their time in Iran, and just the way that I think Persian culture, it's very similar to Greek culture. Like I actually empathize with a lot of the things that are happening to these characters, especially like familial, you know, daughter, son to mother, father, grandfather, grandmother relationships. It's resonating with me. It's just a little slow. There's just not a lot happening. And I think the major crux of the current timeline, the conflict that we're dealing with, is the new matriarch of the family in America has been accused of prostitution because she like told a cop it would cost him 50 grand, an undercover cop, it would cost him 50 grand to like get with her. And we're just not spending a lot of time on that. We keep going back into the into the before times, into the older timelines. But it's still it's slow burn, but it's still reading very quickly. So I am looking forward to probably finishing this today or tomorrow. And then the other update I have is I did start A House with Good Bones by Kingfisher because I just think it would be fun to knock out some little quick short reads for this, and I'm just about halfway. This is really fun. It's following our main character Sam, who has returned home to her deceased grandmother's house that she grew up in one of the Carolinas. Her mom currently lives there, and her brother was like, you need to go check on mom because something's not right. And the further into the story that we get, the more like creepy supernatural elements are coming out. There's this really beautiful imagery, like there's a lot of vultures involved and roses and flowers, and Sam herself is an archaeoentomologist, so she studies bugs on archaeological dig sites, which I think is just so cool. So I will probably finish this one today too. Honestly, I only have about 100 pages left, and as much as I'm enjoying it, it's probably not going to land more than like a 3.5 because our main character Sam keeps breaking the fourth wall. Like, oh, don't at me. And I hate that in a book. That's just a personal preference. But again, it's just crazy how Kingfisher can write these like wildly different genres, and almost all of them hit for me. So we're definitely going to finish this today. I just uploaded my Book of the Month episode 11 of that book list challenge. I'll link it on the screen, that playlist, if you are interested. That was it. That was all. Potatoes. Okay, I'll be back when I have an update on one or two or both of these. I also think that I'm going to start Too Old for This by Samantha Downing on audio because I really need to get some cleaning done, and I really need to do my nails and a pedi. So that would be, I think, a fun way to continue working on this little weekly. Well, it's weekly, but I think we're gonna go into next week because I'm not finishing all these library books this week. It's Thursday. So I'll be back when I have an update and we can chat about what I finish. Let's chat. I am sweaty. Why am I sweaty? I just walked to Danny and ate a quesadilla and cleaned quite a bit. Vacuumed my couch, swept, mopped, vacuumed, litter. It's all done. It's all good. Happy Friday, TGIF. So it is Friday, September 12th now, and I feel like I haven't updated as much as I wanted to for this vlog, but it's just been busy with interviews, and I had another one today. That was the other update. So I had a good one yesterday and I had another good one today, and I have a good feeling about the one today. I would really like to work there. So just fingers crossed to whatever spirit demon is watching out for me right now. But it's Friday. I'm not thinking about work or jobs or applying or anything until Monday. I just want to read. I want to spend the weekend reading. I want to sit outside and read. It's really nice out. Not right now because I'm wearing all black and I'm already sweating, but neither here nor there. Let's talk about the book updates. So first update is I did finish A House with Good Bones by Kingfisher, and I really liked this. It's a very interesting premise. So I think I talked about it in my last update, but our main character Sam goes home to her deceased grandma's house that she grew up in. Her mom still lives there. She inherited the home, and things are weird. So her brother, Sam's brother, Brad, was like, you need to go check on mom. Something's not right. And it turns out that something is not right, but it's not for any of the reasons that Sam thinks. And I really liked this. It ended very, like, I thought the ending was fleshed out, which I love, especially for a short 240-page book, to have the story progress as successfully as this one did, and then to have a satisfying ending on top of that, I thought was great. The flower imagery was great, the insect imagery, don't like bugs, probably skip this one because there are quite a few. I wish there was more vultures though. I feel like we focused more on the rose insect part of it because Gran May, the grandma, was a gardener, but I really loved the vulture aspect and I kind of wanted more of it, especially since we have the vulture on the cover. But yeah, I really liked this one. I am landing on like a 3.5 star, I think. Just, it didn't blow me away, and it's not something that I would probably reread, but I would recommend if you want something quick, short, sweet, silly, goofy, but has like spooky horror, supernatural elements. There's witchcraft, but if you don't like bugs or birds, there is quite a bit of imagery with insects and the vultures. But yeah, I really liked this, and I'm pumped to continue reading T. Kingfisher's backlog. The other one that I have here from the library is Thornhedge. That one's only like 116 pages, so we can get that done. My plan is to finish up my 2 current library books today, and then over the next couple of days, just like 24-hour marathon this. I'm not gonna film it like a 24-hour readathon, but just between you and I and everyone else that's watching, I'm gonna try to power through because I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10. Now I have 11 books left to read, and that's after I've already read like 5 of them. So I'm not gonna read 11 books this weekend. That's impossible, but I'm gonna do my best to get through as many of them as I can. So I haven't progressed any further in the Persians. Unfortunately, I still think I'm gonna finish it because I'm about halfway. It's not drawing me in as much as some of the other reads that I've picked up, so I haven't made much progress there, but I did crush over 50% of Too Old for This. So I did start it on audio, and I actually hate the narrator's voice, but also I love the audiobook at the same time. Like, I shouldn't say I hate the narrator's voice, that's mean. The narrator at first didn't have my attention. I was like, this is weird. I don't know, because I can't explain what about it was bothering me, but the more that I listened to it and the more that I got to know our main character Lottie, the more I was like, this narrator was a perfect choice for this book. So we are following our main character Lottie, who is a 75-year-old woman living on her own. She has 1 son and she's a serial killer. That's all there is to it. I mean, that's not a spoiler. If you couldn't tell that from the cover, that's on you. But I am loving this. It is bringing me back to Samantha Downing's first book, My Lovely Wife, which still might be my favorite by her, but this one it's inching its way up. So we have reached a point where Lottie has gotten herself into some situations, and I'm very much looking forward to what's gonna happen. I think I only have 226. I have about 150-ish pages left, so I'm debating. I think I'm honestly really enjoying the audiobook. I listened to the audio except for the last like 100 pages or so I read in bed last night because I couldn't fall asleep until 1 a.m. and then I ate a whole pint of Jerry Garcia, Ben & Jerry's, and passed out. So that was the solution to that. But I think I am going to get back to finishing up my nephew's blanket that he just turned a year and this is his baby blanket, so we're not doing great on that. So I need to get that finished so I can get that mailed to my brother, that's the crochet project you saw in the B-roll. So I think I might pop the audiobook back on and continue listening to this and maybe potentially finish it on audio and see how much of my blanket I can get done. I think I have 1 more set of the ivory navy blue stripes and then 1 more set of the big like cornflower blue chunk, and then finishing off a white ivory navy blue on the other side, and then we're gonna do a border to weave all the ends in because I'm not fucking doing that by hand. I hate weaving ends in. If there's like any trick that I can YouTube, I will apply it to my projects, and so far so good. I typically try to like weave them in as I go, like crochet over them, and then I'll leave a little bit of a tail and then put it on a yarn needle and then just kind of like flip it, like what's the word, sew it in a little bit more and like knot it. So far so good. I did that for my hexagon cardigan, which I don't think I've shown on here because it's insane, but I will try to show you guys. I'm very proud of it. So yeah, I think my plan is I'm just gonna do whatever border the pattern calls for and see if I can just, I think I'm gonna knot them all and then I'm gonna do the border. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, that was long-winded of me. I'm actually really tired now, so I might take a nap at some point. No, I'm gonna pop the audiobook and see if we can finish up Too Old for This by Samantha Downing. That will be another library book read. And then we have the Persians, of course, to work on. What shall we do next? I'm feeling, see now I really wanted to read the Watermark, but now I really want to read Of Monsters and Mainframes. So I think I'm gonna grab Carrie by Stephen King and Thorn Hedge by T. Kingfisher as well, and we'll work, like this will be our next little stack of library books that we're gonna focus on this weekend. And if honestly if I can finish Samantha Downing and the Persians today and then finish these 4 books over the weekend, I'm gonna be really pleased about that. So that's my plan. I'm sticking to it. You heard it here first. And I'll be back when I have a check-in, probably when I finished Too Old for This. Okay, I would like to comment on the fact that all I do is bitch about how over thrillers I am. This is less thrilling, more slice of life. We're looking at a 75-year-old septuagenarian serial killer, and I am really liking it. Lottie is just funny. The characters that she encounters are just, it's good. It's really, really good because we're watching Lottie deal with realizing she's aging and she can't do the fun extracurriculars that she was previously able to do to the extent that she was doing them. And that's kind of like bumping up against the things that she is still actively doing in this book and doing pretty successfully. So retired serial killers. Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't spoiling anything. Yeah, I feel like I've said this 20 times. I'm just gonna sign off here and we'll be back when we have an update. Okay, bye. Good morning. Good morning unto you. Whoa, okay. I have been told by almost everybody that I know that has listened to me sing that I'm tone deaf, so I'm sorry I do it so much in this channel. Sorry, not sorry. Let me get a sip of this. Dunkin' Donuts apple cider donut. Oh, that's good. Hot and delicious. Okay, I do have some reading updates. I finished Too Old for This by Samantha Downing. I did finish it on audio while I was working on my nephew's blanket, and I loved this. I'm landing on a 4-star. It was really, really good. I wouldn't say it's fast-paced in the sense that it didn't take me very long to read this, especially listening to the audio and then reading about 150 pages with my eyeballs. It was a little slow burn, but it was just like slice of life serial killer. I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. I thought Lottie was a great character. She had no motivations, like no motivations whatsoever. And I think that's what made her such a haunting character. And she's 75 years old and she's still able to do all the things that she does in this book. The ending, great. The way it all wrapped up, fantastic. I loved this. So this is very reminiscent of My Lovely Wife. It's a little bit less serious than that one. I would say this one definitely has like its comedic elements. The old lady characters that she's friends with at her church are so funny and just add that like church lunch bingo lady vibe that I think works really well for this, you know, juxtaposed against the fact that Lottie is a serial killer. So absolutely pick this up. I might need to stop saying that I don't enjoy thrillers because I think I just don't enjoy domestic thrillers. Like I'm so tired of like The Housemaid, or you know, there's a secret wife in the attic. Like I don't care. Good for you. That's great. Another man taking advantage of a woman. Ooh, let's read about that. No, let me read about a 75-year-old lady that kills people. That's what I want. So Samantha Downing, great job here. Another sip of coffee. Hold on. Hot. Sorry for the slurping, but it's hot. I also did make a little bit more progress on the Persians, so now I have about 100 pages left. So I didn't finish it yesterday because I got really obsessed with crocheting a jester hat for the cat. And I'm gonna put some pictures up here because the thought of wrangling one of them and putting it on again right this moment is not working for me, but I might do it for you guys later so you can see it live. They hate it, but I love it. I stayed up way too late doing it, and unfortunately I don't have any audiobooks. I did have the audio for Too Old for This, which is like part of my little library haul here. I'm trying to stay on theme as much as I can for this vlog, and I didn't end up listening to any of the library storybooks while I was crocheting that. I did listen to 45% of Heavenly Bodies by Amani Sarai, I think is the author's name. I'll put it up on the screen because I'm surely misremembering, butchering it, whatever. But I'm surprisingly really enjoying it. It is a very interesting world. I think the magic is really fun. I like the fact that the gods are like astrological celestial beings, and the romance is nice. I think it's nice. It moved a little bit quicker than I wanted it to. It's getting a little insta-lovey, but whatever. It's a vibe listen for me. So I am enjoying that. I'm definitely going to switch back to getting to some of these now that my hands are killing me, so I don't think I can crochet today. But my plan is to settle down and finish the Persians, have my first cup of coffee at the crack of noon. My sleep is just so fucked up still, so I did stay up too late crocheting the hat. But my neck, I love that the older you get, like you sleep wrong on your neck one time and you're incapacitated for the next 2 weeks. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I think my monthlies are approaching. So I woke up with a headache, which was like radiating down into the neck shoulder area. That's where we're at on that. So I didn't sleep great, and then I slept until like 10:30. So I'm kind of just getting my day started now, but it's Saturday. Who cares? Who cares? College football, go Auburn, War Eagle. And reading is my plan. So I'm gonna finish this up and I'll be back to update on that. I will say it is a little bit more interesting now that we're getting some reveals about some of the things that the characters have done, whether it's past or present, but it's still very slice of life. And honestly, it's a little on the boring side for me. Sometimes slice of life typically generational or like family saga type literary fiction books are gonna be just slice of life and a little bit more slow moving, but this one is on top of that. I still just don't love the writing style. I don't know what it is. It feels like there's just like sentences that are thrown in that don't make sense in the context, and it might just be a book that's more avant-garde and like smarter than I am at this point in my life. But I'm gonna finish this up and we'll do some final thoughts on that. And then I really truly think that this stack that we talked about last night, we can get it done today, because I just don't feel like doing anything other than reading. Sitting on my couch, relaxing, getting this headache to go away, and reading. I probably won't do as much filming out in the living room, just because I can't mute the TV because it's college football. My husband will murder me, and also I don't want to mute it. So I will pop back in and out the library. We'll do a little B-roll out there, some cat shots, of course. And yeah, I think my next update will probably, like my next clip will probably just be me coming back to talk about finishing up the Persians. I do also desperately need to do my nails today, so if we can fit that in at some point, but I don't want to take away from my reading is where I'm at with that. So maybe we will, maybe we won't, we'll see. But that fucking fan, my husband said he fixed it and that turned out to be a lie, so sorry for the noise, but I will get that taken care of. Okay, I'll be back when we finish the Persians, and then we will pick which book we're gonna start next. Hello. I actually don't feel that great, which is why I'm being a little baby. What did I do to my camera? I swear I'll push a button on here and it just completely changes how I have my screen set up. So anyway, hopefully this is level. It's probably so crooked, but my back hurts really bad today. And I just walked Danny and she saw something in the woods and pulled on her leash really hard. And then something popped. So I just took, I did cry, but then I got something in my eye, so I put eye drops in. But it's just a baby, like she doesn't know. Look at this big girl. Oof, my sweet little angel. Also, can we just, the rainbow? It's hard to not leave it on the rainbow 24/7, 365. I need to learn how to use this camera. I really don't. Okay, so I just took a bunch of ibuprofen and I'm ready to sit on my heating pad and enjoy the ulcer I'm giving myself with all these pain meds. But I did finish the Persians, so. And then I have my little lunchy, birria quesadilla. So good. It's from our favorite place here. And we order like once a week and I almost always get that because it's so stinking good. But, oh God, this chair feels nice. My new desk chair, first of all, is purple. Can't really tell, but it has like that lumbar support. Oh, I need to sit in this more. Okay, focus. So I finished The Persians and I enjoyed this. It did start picking up a little bit in the second half, I would say, and I did my favorite thing, which is go to Goodreads, say I finished it, and then read through other people's reviews and ratings. And quite a few people had the same issue with the writing, especially towards the beginning, that it just was like jarring the way that this started. You kind of get thrown into the main conflict of the story, but then that conflict, I think, takes a backseat to learning more about the past, present, and future of the ladies in the family. And also, I think I realized what was really bugging me about this, which is Shireen is insufferable start to finish. I don't think that her redemption bit she does at the end redeems her as just like she's a tough character to love, but she's had a tough life. And all of these women have had a tough life in one way, shape, or another, whether they stayed in Iran or whether they were in the United States. So I ended up enjoying this. I finished it and I would recommend it if you're looking for a literary fiction, if you're looking for something a little bit more slice of life, very historically rich. There were a lot of things that I had to look up, and honestly, this has inspired me to maybe pick up some more nonfiction books about the history of the Islamic Revolution and just the state. You know, I mean, even in this day and age, we know that the state of things in the Middle East are horrific for a lot of countries and a lot of folks. So I think this was a pretty relevant read in September 2025. So, and I still didn't love the writing, but the characters, this is a completely character-driven book. There is little to no plot. This is character-driven, and some of the characters are likable, some of them are not, but overall, this was, I think, a very enjoyable read, and certainly something a little different. Even if you read a lot of contemporary fiction or literary fiction, I think this is different than anything a lot of us have read before. So I would recommend grabbing this one from the library or, you know, wherever you get your bookies. So that's another one down. We are doing all right. Okay. We have the stack for the day at the crack of 3 p.m. And just a little something to take the edge off. I'm honestly kind of feeling picking up Carrie because it's a lot shorter than I thought it was, and like it's not deceptively long. The font is not super tiny, and this is like a really nice floppy paperback from the library. I actually really like this cover. Little skull on the flower. So I think maybe knocking out a shorter one in this stack will make me feel pretty accomplished. And then I'm thinking either Monsters and Mainframes or the Watermark. I'm gonna see how I feel after I allegedly start and finish Carrie. So let's go ahead. How long is this? Not even 300 pages. Get that done in a day. And this is his first book that he published under his own name. So I think that will be fun and exciting. I have a bunch of raw footage on my camera that I need to upload and get organized to start editing this vlog before it gets out of control for me. And then tomorrow I have a bunch of Instagram stuff. I will put my Instagram handle here. It's at the Farm D Read, same as here. Also, I'm thinking about changing my name. And if you think that's insane, please let me know down below. Or if you support me, please let me know down below. It's just like when I started my social medias, like the farm, you know, I just associate so much of my identity to being a pharmacist, but like, I don't think it's the most interesting thing about me. I think I'm pretty funny and I have cool tattoos and I can read a lot of books and jibber jab about them on the internet. So I think that's more interesting. I don't know. You guys let me know. I just feel like I could have a cooler name. I only have one in mind, which I'm not going to share because I'm embarrassed if it's stupid. But let me know down below if you would still be interested in watching me if my YouTube channel was not the Farm D Reads. Okay, great. Yeah, so I need to change my camera battery out and figure out what the heck I did to my settings. I have like the grid and the level thing on there, and now it's a bunch of shit about Fs and ISOs, and I don't care to know about any of that. Also, I'm so sorry about the fan. I'm gonna have my husband come fix that here in a second. So next update will be hopefully about Carrie, or who could be too sure. I go sit on the heating pad and I start a different one. Definitely this is the stack that I am interested in working on this weekend. I'm definitely not gonna read these 4 books today because I don't really feel that good. But you know what? Never say never. I think I might be able to get Of Monsters and Mainframes on audio to do my nails later, or maybe crochet, because I did take some ibuprofen, so maybe my juvenile arthritis will not be so bad. All right, this was 7 minutes of nonsense. I'll be back when I have another update. Hi. I have just about 100 pages left. Carrie, this is as short and as bingeable and as quick of a read as I was hoping it would be. And in classic Stephen King fashion, there are no chapters. It's part 1 and it's part 2. And then Murder, She Wrote. But if you're not familiar with Carrie, this is his first book published, that he ever published, I think. And I was confused because I thought that he had published another one first under Richard Bachman. But I think Carrie came out first, and then he came out with Rage or The Long Walk as Richard Bachman later that year, because I read that the reason that he started using the pen name is because he had so many books and stories that he wanted to publish, but his publisher was like, you can't do too much too fast. So he was doing it under 2 pen names, but I digress completely. This book is following Carrie White, who is a high schooler that has an overly zealot religious mother, and she's basically been abused by her both physically and verbally her entire life. And she's very sheltered, she's very shy, she gets picked on at school, and she's telekinetic. That's all you need to know. This is honestly, I think, coincidentally his first book, but also if you are new to Stephen King, this is a really quick one. It's really well written. Honestly, some of his earlier work is questionable, aka racist, but this one, well, it's talking not appropriately about the Vietnam War, I think, but whatever. This was a different time. It's not whatever. I'm not excusing his behavior, but anywho. I'm really enjoying this one. I don't think it's going to become like my favorite Stephen King, but it's definitely pretty up there. His earlier ones always get me. It, Misery, Pet Sematary, just like the classic Stephen King horror book. And this one is honestly no different. So I did want to come and do a little update before I finish it, just because I'm doing not great at updating while I'm reading the book. I was debating just finishing it in one sitting and then coming to do the update, but got to pee. So I said, let me get up to do this. Auburn won, War Eagle. We're watching the Georgia-Tennessee game right now, and yeah, I'll probably make dinner in a little bit, just continue reading and relaxing. My back is feeling a little bit better after sitting on the heating pad. Not like I'm gonna go outside and run a fucking marathon right now, but just for my own comfort. And then I don't know, I think I want to start Monsters and Mainframes. I feel like I need a little silly, goofy, don't maybe need to think about it too much book, and I think the Watermark is gonna need more brain power than I may think it's gonna need. So something that I wish that this had more of is actual moments with Carrie. I feel like we get a lot of exposition on the other characters and what they're up to, which is important for the story, and we're getting excerpts of, like, in this current timeline after the events of this book the excerpts are detailing the events in the past, if that makes sense, the way that I explained that. And I actually wish we had more of Carrie, because in my head the movies are like Carrie, which makes sense because the movie adaptations are going to be a little different than the book. But I know how this book ends because it's just been spoiled. It was published in like 1976 or whatever, so it's not like I don't know what's gonna happen. But if you don't know anything about this book, characters, plot, ending, I highly recommend you pick it up and just go in blind, because I think you're gonna have a good time. So I'm gonna go finish this up. Gonna move the heating pad up to my neck shoulder area now, and then I'll be back to update finishing this, and then we'll pick our next read for the night. Hi! So I finished Carrie. 1 sitting. Well, 2 sittings technically since I came to update, but it's 1 sitting and my brain. I loved this. I honestly thought that I knew what happened at the end, and I was woefully wrong. I knew the big scene, but like all the other shit that happens, had no idea. So I was very pleasantly surprised by the ending, and also sad. This is a sad book. Probably check your trigger warnings, because again, this was published in the 1970s, and Stephen King is not the most PC person to begin with, just as a human being. So I would make sure you know what's happening in this. If you're sensitive to some topics, there is bullying in this, abuse. There's quite a few things that you might want to make yourself aware of. But I really enjoyed this, and that's one more book done. I feel like I gave it a pretty good synopsis earlier, so I don't want to spoil anything because it's so short. I can't believe it. I need to find a good copy on eBay to add as a trophy, because I have a nice Stephen King collection over there. If you watched my September reset / new library tour video, I'll link it on the screen here. I love my Stephen King, even though, again, I think he's not really that great of a person, but what are you gonna do? So that's another book down. I am getting a little tired. Well, I've been tired all day, but my body finally is cooperating a little bit, and I don't feel so achy. So I think I might probably be done updating for tonight. We just ordered some blizzards from Dairy Queen. I made seasoned and herbed chicken drumstick in the air fryer, and then I had some corn, just like a microwave back corn with butter and salt, and then I made homemade mashed potatoes and homemade gravy. Delish. Hi, Dan. You wanna say hi? Where's your big sniffer? You stinky, you need a bath. You need a bath. Huh. Okay, so I like how I made dinner at home and then I DoorDashed ice cream. We usually have dessert, either like a frozen, you know, ice cream in the freezer, or I'll make like chocolate chip cookies or brownies, but I usually don't want to do that after we ate all the ice cream, and I don't really want to bake most of the time after I've made a full dinner, and also I don't have chocolate chips, so no cookies. I do have peanut butter though, and I've never made peanut butter cookies, so I might try that this weekend, aka tomorrow. So tomorrow's Sunday, NFL, heck yeah. We are still watching college football for the rest of the evening, and we're just gonna be back at it again. I think I will probably close the vlog out either tomorrow or maybe Monday night, so I can get it edited and posted on the 17th, Wednesday, which is what my content calendar says. I'm following it pretty well for YouTube. I've already slacked off on Instagram, but Instagram, it's easier to just like think of something and take a picture of a book in front of the shelves and talk about it and call it a day. But YouTube obviously takes a lot more effort. Filming, planning, I don't script. I just loosely, you know, like I think of the video that I want to do and then I kind of like loosely make a TBR for it if that's the case, or whatever. I don't like write a script for this shit. I just think I'm funnier off the cuff. And I also think I'm the funniest person in the room. Me. Like, I'm the only one that thinks that. But anywho, where am I going with this, Dan? Do you know? Yeah. Where am I going with this? I think I'm gonna settle in and pick up one more book tonight. I am torn between The Watermark and Of Monsters and Mainframes. And honestly, really Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher, because it's like 120 pages. So I could knock out 3 books in one day, which not doing a 24-hour reading vlog is pretty good for me in a day. But I might save that one for tomorrow and start Of Monsters and Mainframes, and then just switch to my personal read on my Kindle, which is Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong, which I will now link my book of the month video that I just featured. Book 1 are These Violent Delights. I read that in that vlog, so I'll put that on the screen. And I am working on book 2, but it's kind of like feeling a little bit repetitive, side note for that book, so I haven't been gravitating towards it as much, especially since I've been focusing on getting all these library books read this week. So long-winded of me at 5.5 minutes. I will TTYL. I may or may not update again, like do B-roll for tonight. Otherwise, I will see y'all tomorrow for some Sunday football. Say goodnight. You say goodnight? Say I don't speak English. I'm just a dog. I know what you're saying. I know. Okay, well, TTYL. Bye. Morning. Ooh, my hair is looking banana sandwiches this morning, but that's on curly hair and humidity in the south. So it's actually not that humid today. It's really nice out. I took Dan for a little walk and I fed the ferals. One of them, Jacob, well, I've named him Jacob. He's the all black feral cat that I've been feeding. He started coming up to my windows every morning to request his breakfast, and it's just the sweetest thing ever. So we're back, baby. So, uh-oh. Those cat bites? I don't think so. Anyway, here to update. Start the vlog up again for the day. So I read like 240 pages of this book because I could not put it down. Do you see my greasy little paw prints? I'm gonna have to wipe that down before I give it to the library. Also, I both love and hate being the first one to read books from my library because I'm like, my reading taste is individual, or you know, I'm just getting lucky with these new books, but I'd be cracking the spine. my hands hurt like holding a book. So sorry, Of Monsters and Mainframes. I just cannot get over how good this cover is, and the content inside is also so good. So I like skimmed the synopsis because I love to go into a book blind as hell, and this one is so much funkier than I thought it was gonna be. So I didn't realize that Demeter is the actual ship. So So Demeter is the actual ship. She's the AI that controls the passenger ship that can travel throughout space and time, if you will. And there's also the doctor on board. The medical nurse is like an AI robot nurse, and they're getting inundated with creatures that we're familiar with. There's werewolves, there's vampires, there's a mummy. I'm loving this. This is, so the back does say the queer love child of pulp horror and classic sci-fi, and that's exactly what this is reading as. This is probably going to be one of my favorite books of the year. I can't, like, depending on how it ends, I just can't see myself not giving this 5 stars. It's so unique, it's so well written, it's so well paced. The characters are great, from the human characters to the creature characters to the AI characters. If you like Murderbot, the Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells, you will absolutely love this. It's not horror, like gory, creepy. It's got comedic relief. It has elements of horror, but I really think the queer love child of pulp horror and classic sci-fi is a great description of this book. So I got coffee. I'm sat with my boys. Carl and Kat are sitting here with me, and I'm gonna finish up this book. Football should be starting up here in a little bit, in like an hour or two. I think the first game is late today. It's at 1 o'clock. So another day of football and reading, and just trying to continue bring positivity in my life. I'm not looking at the internet today. I've really been trying to be just online less, because our brains are not meant to process as much trauma as we've been getting lately, and like the world has been on fire and will continue to be on fire, but we just have to do what we can to prevent that in our personal lives. I think donate if you can, volunteer somewhere if you can, feed a feral cat if you can. Like, I just think a lot of us, especially like me for sure, I get this feeling and this notion in my head that I'm just one person. I'm so small, like I'm nothing. I'm an atom in an endless universe. Like, what can I do? But if you do something that shows your gratitude for any living thing or creature or organization or whatever other than yourself, I think that's a great starting point. And that's what I'm subscribing to for my personal mental health. Hopefully that was not an ignorant or insane thing to say, but that's just how I feel. Like, I'm unemployed. All I'm able to do right now is purchase extra cat food and feed the cats. I would really like, once I have some steady income, to start really donating and working more closely with organizations that are helping fund the issues in the Middle East, in Gaza. And you can donate to just send children prepared meals or milk or baby formula. There's an orphan problem now there. I just think this past week especially has showed us that violence has kind of just taken over, and whatever I can do as my one atom in an endless universe to combat that, I'm gonna try. That was a lot for a Sunday morning, so sorry not sorry. I am going to read this book and drink coffee and pet my cats, and I hope you're having a great day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are, and I'll be back in a little bit to update. After I finish this, I think I'm gonna read Thornhedge, because just getting another book done is gonna make me feel great. And now, honestly, I don't know if I want to read the Watermark. I kind of want to go back to a fantasy. I haven't read a fantasy in like days, and that hurts me. So Silver Cloak by LJ something, I think. I've been thinking about it because the map is so good. So I don't know what we'll read after Thornhedge, but I do think I'm gonna hit that after I finish Of Monsters and Mainframes. So I will be back. This is gonna be 5 stars, I just know it, and we'll talk about it when I finish. Hi! Okay, so update. I finished Of Monsters and Mainframes. First of all, the matching, the rainbow, the neon, outdid myself with these lighting selections, but I loved this. 5 stars. No questions, no critiques. Everything about this works. If you like sci-fi with like comedic, like it's like, I keep saying the pulp horror meets sci-fi is just the best way to describe this, and that is so accurate. The character development that we have in this, even in the AI, like the non-sentient beings, I think was just so masterfully done by this author. Barbara Truelove. I don't know if she's written anything else, but if she has, I'm gonna be picking it up. I love reading books that are so original and so unique, and just thinking to myself, how did this person think of this? And I love them for it. Like, this is a sleeper hit of the year. This was published in July of 2025, and I honestly need everyone to be reading it because it was just, I had so much fun with this. I read it in 2 sittings. I read 240 pages last night, and then I finished the last 160 pages during the first round of NFL games today. Patriots won because I drank coffee out of my Patriots mug this morning, and I'm sure of that. So what to do now? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I am a little burnt out on reading, but the horrors persist, and so do I. I had a little bit of coffee left in my pot from this morning. Delicious. I just brushed my teeth after I took a shower. So I took a quick shower, skin-cared for the evening, matching set of PJs, and honestly, I really need to, I did the prep. I took my old polish off, did cuticle care, cut them down quite a bit, did all that good stuff. But I'm not like super motivated to paint them, although it makes me feel so much better after I just do it, you know? I used to spend like 6 hours doing my nails, and the thought of that is traumatizing. It's just not how I want to be spending 6 hours anymore. But it still takes me like an hour and a half to paint them now. I just do like a basic gel manicure. I used to do like crazy designs and glitters and dip powders and all. I gave all the shit away. I'm like just like very much more streamlined with, especially like my hygiene. That's so weird, but like my skincare routine, like I'm not buying and trying new skincare products often. I have like 3-4 things that work really well for me, and when they run out I buy more. And do you see a wrinkle? You don't. They're there, but you don't see it. So something's working. That's actually Paula's Choice is the reason I get this glow. The Paula's Choice 2% BHA exfoliating liquid. Chef's Kiss. I'll link it down below if you want to buy it. I'm sure you've seen it on the internet before, but it's one of my favorite products. Anyway, this coffee needs to start doing its job. That does not taste great with the toothpaste, but we're dealing with it. Okay, so I still have Thorn Hedge and, ooh, Bewitching, ooh, Angel Down, okay. I still have Thorn Hedge and the Watermark pulled out in my little TBR section over on the couch, but I think I'm also gonna grab Here Beside the Rising Tide by Emily Jane. This one's short. Nope, longer than I thought it was. This is, what? Okay, it's 380 pages, which is not that much shorter than this one. And that's just on like publishing choices, I guess. But something about this one is calling to me. Love, fun, sun, and sea monsters. Delightfully weird, funny, touching. You haven't read anything like this in a long time. I feel like this kind of is gonna have, actually now that I'm thinking about it, it's gonna be similar vibes to this one, so I don't know. I might just stick with Thorn Hedge and the Watermark, but like starting the Watermark it's another fat one, and I don't know if I feel like it right now. I don't know. I'm gonna still bring this one out to the couch. And then I think I might also bring Rose of Jericho by Alex. Rose of Jericho is a supernatural horror story where ghosts and ghouls are the least of a witch's problems in 19th century New England. This one's only like 310 pages. So I think I'm gonna grab these two as well and just kind of see what mood I'm in and see where the wind blows me. For right now, we are ordering pizza for dinner, and then I may or may not do my nails after that and then just like read for the rest of the night, or I might not do my nails and just keep reading. I really don't know what kind of mood I'm in. The shower and skincare and coffee at 5:30 p.m. EST. Hey, first time zone shout out. We're in EST now. East Coast, West Coast. So annoying. Me to me every day. I just don't know what kind of mood I'm gonna be in after, wait, what was I saying? No, I did the shower and the skincare and the coffee at 5:30 EST. Yep, I'm back. Because I just felt a little blah and a little burnt out and a little sleepy. So I'm gonna try to wake up for the rest of the night. Either keep reading and or paint my nails. I'm torn between like chocolate brown for fall. I also have a chocolate brown with like gold, like a very nice gold glitter in it, or black because I haven't painted my nails black in like 2 years. And she says her favorite color is black and then proceeds to wear pink. Everything. My hair clip is a pink heart. So I have to look tough and cool somewhere. Maybe it may as well be in my nails. So I don't know. We'll see. Still have to do my toes, but that is a problem for tomorrow's Alex, I think. I also have 3 interviews this week. I have one tomorrow, one Tuesday, and one Wednesday. And I should hear back by Wednesday on a potential job offer from the interview I had Friday. And I really, really, really want to work there. It's a sweet schedule. It's 8 a.m. to 4:30, Monday through Friday, no weekends, no night. Benefits, 10 days of paid time off right out the gate. 401k. Come on. Come on. Is that the place that matched on the 401k? I don't remember. That's neither here nor there. I'll probably not even be around by then. That was morbid. This past week has just been trying on all of us, I think, with events in the world. So don't mind my negativity. We're here to be positive and read books. Okay, that was a silly, goofy update. I will check back in when I have started another book and get some pizza in me. And then we'll see where the evening takes us. The night is young and I'm gonna be up all night because of this coffee now. So I will TTYL. Can you pick?
What do you want me to do?
Pick whichever one I should read next.
And it's going to be first and goal, Cardinals. Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. on the move at first and goal in Arizona. We have second half kickoffs between Denver and Indianapolis. And the Super Bowl 59 rematch is now into the
Just pick one.
between the Eagles.
I like this.
Okay.
Jeez.
I know. Of course you picked that. Good morning. I matched the lights to the book. I am half awake still. These cats are killing me. I ordered earplugs because I just can't. There's an earplug company out there that wants to sponsor me. I'm here for you. I have 4 cats and a dog and they're out to get me every hour of every day. They woke me up at 2:30 today and I was up till like 5:30 and then I fell asleep, and it's making me sleep too late. Like, I don't want to get up at 10 a.m. That's not me as a person. So yay. Let's chit chat. I just spent the rest of the evening reading this intermittently. Got in bed early enough and I made salted caramel brownies. And then I drank sour milk and I didn't want to talk to anyone on the internet after that. So ugh, forever unclean. But I think my plan is to hopefully finish The Watermark by Sam Mills today and close out this vlog. And we'll go through the books that I finished. I obviously didn't get through my whole stack of library books, but I got through about half of them, which I'm very proud of. So I can swing by the library later today and return a bunch of them so someone else can enjoy, especially Too Old for This by Samantha Downing, because that's a new release, so I'm sure someone's waiting for that one. But this one is very gripping so far, and it's thick. It's 500 and something pages, but it's honestly very readable. Like, I'm flying through, I feel like. I didn't read as much of it last night as I wanted to, but I got 117 pages in, and the premise of this one is we are following a few main characters. One of them is named Jamie. He is a struggling 20-something guy in England that won a contest to interview this famous author named Augustus Fate. So he goes to his house and he ends up being written into one of Augustus's stories. So Augustus is a bad guy. He drugs people and he writes them into his stories. So we have Jamie, and his counterpart Rachel is someone that he also met in real life that have both been abducted and written into stories by Augustus. And I think that's as much as I want to say. A, because that's all I know, and B, because I think this is going to be a really fun read and I don't want to spoil anything. I'm enjoying this very much. Stories within a story, some sort of like magic witchcraft going on, I think is going to be just like so fun. And I'm very interested to see where the stories go, because the way the book is set up is there's interludes of present time in 2019 with Augustus, and then we have the stories actually within this book that the characters are written into. So there's just stories within stories within stories within stories. So I am hoping to finish this up today. I do have an interview in an hour. And I think right now what I'm gonna do is eat some cold pizza and try to wake up a little bit, read some of this. I'll have my interview, and then I wanted to wake up early enough to paint my nails, but that didn't happen because these cats, again, are out to get me. I love them so much, but sometimes I wonder if it's reciprocated. And then I'll be back to update on some progress, and we'll just relax. We'll just have a relaxing Monday because I have 2 more interviews. I have one tomorrow that's in person in Atlanta, so I'm gonna have to battle traffic in real life to go do that one. And then Wednesday I have another one at 9 a.m. via Teams. So, and then I'm hoping maybe I'll hear some good news about an interview. Like, obviously I'm still gonna give these interviews this week 150,000%, but I just had a really good feeling about the interview I had on Friday, and I would really like to work there. It looks like a great team. It's well staffed. I liked the manager. I like what they're doing. I like the business. I like the hour. I like the pay. I like the PTO. So fingers crossed this is the week that I get a job, because I need some money for books and food, because food's so expensive and I love to eat it. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit after my responsibilities are done for the day, and we'll talk about the watermarks more.
And then a letter from Walls as well, which I think is very cute. There is some not safe for work, probably booked, not safe for work art. So I just looked over my shoulder while the boxes.
I dropped my fork from my brownie and I was filming it.
And it's absolutely beautiful with the gorgeous spring edges. It's like super. Stunning end papers. I don't think some of the other ones is the same as it's the same as the not seen for work print. There is a dear reader option printed inside, and it's time.
No ma'am. Hey, we're still matching the shelves to the book. I did not do great, really, just like filming in any way, shape, or form today. The day just got away from me, but I did do my nails. I went with, oh, that's bright and it's hurting my eyes now. Went with a, like a sparkly brown for fall. I don't know, lighting, whatever, they're done. Hey, Will Wadey. Dan's in here with me. My eyes are burning because I chopped a lot of onions for dinner. I made like a Greek meal from my childhood. It's like a Greek orzo stew. It's like a tomato-based stew, and it orzo, parmesan, cheese, chicken. You can do it with beef or chicken. I had chicken, so anyway, neither here nor there. And a salad, and I made freshly baked bread because nothing beats a crusty bread and some Greek salad. So I thought that I would extend this to tomorrow because I don't know if I'm gonna finish this tonight. I'm not even halfway. This is 528 pages, 221. So I'm almost halfway. I think Goodreads said I was 41%, but I'm still really enjoying this. I'm hoping to just settle in for the night and keep reading. Monday Night Football is going on till forever. There's a game starting at 10, so if I can stay up for that, I could probably finish this and maybe update and close the vlog tonight, but I don't really feel like going through the read, so I might just close it tomorrow, which is Tuesday the 16th. I had an interview today, and then I have an in-person interview tomorrow, and then I have a virtual interview in the morning on Wednesday. So again, I'm just kind of distracted by the job thing because I need one, and I'm hoping that I get an offer this week. But this book is so fresh and so fun. I accidentally saw that the average rating on Goodreads was like a 3.7, I think, which is not bad in any way, shape, or form, but I'm feeling it's like a 4 for me right now, depending on how we're going. So we just are continuing to have our two main characters delve deeper and deeper into like the stories within stories within stories, and their romance is really starting to kind of come through. So I am still really enjoying this. We are now in Soviet Russia is where we're at, and I also love that there's been some illustrations based on what story we're in, and the font will change based on what story we're in. Some things are italicized and bolded and different font styles, and now we have titles that are in Russian. So very much enjoying this. I think I will probably just work on this for the rest of the night, and I think that's gonna be my plan, is to finish up the vlog tomorrow morning before my interview. I showered and did wash my hair and did all that stuff tonight, so tomorrow all I have to worry about, my interview's not till 1:30, so like have the whole morning, but I'll have plenty of time to make up and get an outfit together and get down there, drive down there and start editing, because I need to close this out and then hustle to get it edited to post on Wednesday or Thursday per my content schedule. I am sticking to it really, really well for YouTube. Instagram has just been a minefield with all the political and violent things that have happened in the last couple of weeks, and I'm like, I just don't want to be here. YouTube's a lot happier place, I think, than Bookstagram. And Allie said that she has a friend who has a book page, like a Bookstagram, and also has an Instagram for crafting and then another Instagram for her gaming. And she said like the book community specifically gets very hot and bothered and opinionated and angry and at each other, not angry at the situation, but like angry at each other. Like there's lists going around on Instagram of people that felt a certain type of way about something that happened this week, which I don't want to talk about it because that's not what I'm here to do at this moment in my life. And they were like posting these huge lists of people to basically like go on a witch hunt based on what your feelings were on the topic, on the situation. And it's just like, that's not, you know, everyone has the right to their opinion, and that's a good thing. It's just not what I want my book. Honestly, I'm only on the internet to talk about books and how much I love reading and how much I love, you know, I find joy in almost every book that I read. There's only been 1 or 2 this year that I've been like, you can really skip that. Other than that, read all of them, you know? And that's what I'm here to do, and hopefully be silly goofy and, you know, show you guys some cats and show you some bookshelves and show you some books that you may not have seen. This only has like 400 ratings on Goodreads, so I'm basically a fucking pioneer here. I've gone off the deep end tonight anyway. So that's my plan. Finish this book maybe tonight if I can. You know, sometimes I get in the zone, auto zone, and I can bang something out even when I'm a little sleepy. But I feel like we're gonna try to stay up to watch both of these NFL games, and one starts at 10 p.m. So we'll be up until minimum 1 in the morning. Could I finish this tonight? You know what? I'm gonna give it the old college try. So I may check back in tonight and finish out this vlog Monday to Monday, or I may just wrap things up tomorrow morning. And certainly I'm not going to pick up any more library books after this. Otherwise this vlog is gonna go for another week, and I kind of want to just like start a new vlog, because I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 7 or 8 library books left, but I have a couple more weeks to read them, so I'm not pressed to like do another library themed reading vlog or anything, but I am pressed to start reading some books off of my shelves that have been calling my name. So I will check back in hopefully tonight, maybe finish this, otherwise we'll chat in the morning. Hey, I didn't update at all today. It's Tuesday the 9th, No, the 16th. And she finished. We're no longer matching because the red, I feel like it was going to make me sleepy / make my eyes hurt. Just felt like the blue. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, finished the Watermark just now. And the reason that I didn't do a lot of filming or updating today is because I had an interview that did go well, but it was like deep downtown Atlanta and the traffic may be too much for my brain to handle. And my brain, I mean mental health. And then Miss Wadey over here, Miss Dan, I think has a UTI because she's been peeing inside the house. So that's quite an undertaking to clean that up and deal with it. But we're gonna go to the vet tomorrow and everything gonna be just fine. But anyway, I spent most of my afternoon getting to Atlanta, having the interview, and then getting back with the traffic. So I just sat down a couple hours ago to finish these last 200 pages of The Watermark by Sam Mills, and I really enjoyed this. I will say that it got a little repetitive and it got a little sloggy for the last like 40%, but I think the writing was really beautiful and I actually enjoyed the different stories. And yeah, they were repetitive. We kind of had a little bit of a rinse and repeat as far as how divisive the plots were, like the plots within the plots when we got to the stories that Jamie and Rachel were in. And the motivations for Augustus, what he was doing, were basically just brushed under the rug. There was not really an explanation as to why he was doing this other than just to do it. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with, a magical realism book taking, you have to take some liberties somewhere, right? And maybe he was just a madman doing crazy things for his art. It was interesting that the story, like his actual story, I thought was the most boring out of all of them, which makes sense, right? Because he's looking for more inventive ways to bring actual life to his characters. So I am, for now, still giving star ratings, although I have gotten support from a lot of you guys to not necessarily talk about ratings and just talk about the books. So I love that, and I'm definitely going to think about how I'm going to structure my future videos and 2026 in general. But this was a 4-star for me, maybe like a 3.75, just because it did feel a little bit tough to get through the last part, and the ending was very, very rushed, but I really enjoyed it. It was, honestly, for how character driven it was, literally, it was still very readable, and the pacing wasn't too bad because you got those like stories, the sections broken up into the stories. So I was a fan of this. If you see it at your local library, please pick it up because it's fun. It's different. It is very literary in the sense that we have a lot of references to other works, to Marxism, and to, Emily Bronte and Charles Dickens, and a lot of classic literary fiction authors. So if you're looking for something a little different, a little, on the, I wouldn't say deep side, but it certainly was very, it's literary. It's literary fiction. I'm just babbling at this point, but yeah, I really liked this and I would recommend. So with that, I need to wash my hands. I just fed my sourdough starter and the smell actually makes me want to throw up, but it is coming along quite nicely. Okay. We are gonna wrap this up, but I feel like I don't have all the books still that I read for this. So let me just double check. Swordheart. That was the one that I brought back. Was that the only one? Did I start with that? I Have a House with Good Bones, Swordheart. Okay, so perhaps the only one that I am missing here is Swordheart, but these are the library books that I was able to get through during this vlog, and honestly there's not a single one here that I would tell you not to read. I will say that my favorite was Of Monsters and Mainframes. That was the only 5-star for me. I did really enjoy Swordheart. I would say that that one was probably the second favorite, and then Too Old for This was so good. Carrie was so good. The Persians was okay. It was a little on the slow side, very slice of life, but if you're looking for something different, something a little bit slower paced, but still very compulsive to read, The Persians and The Watermark are what you're looking for. So this is the stack that we got through during this library themed read all my freaking library books vlog, plus Swordheart, which I already returned. I feel like there might be another one editing me figure it out and talk about it, I guess. But although I didn't get through all of them, I have a couple weeks to read the rest of them. This stack, I love how this stack is just as fat. This stack plus Thorn Hedge by T. Kingfisher and Rose Jericho by Alex Grecian. I think that was the other one that I have out there on the TBR section. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got through 7 and I have 7 left. So that's not bad. I'm pretty proud of that. If you made it to the end of this vlog, which I feel was very chatty of me, please just leave a sword and a heart emoji, because I really liked Swordheart and I'm still thinking about it, and I want a copy of that edition that I got from the library with the beautiful cover and the beautiful blue sprayed edge, because I loved everything about that one, and it has really gotten me back into reading more Teen Kingfisher. She has quite a backlog that I need to get through. So with that, thank you so much if you watched. Please like this video so I can get out to more people and talk about books to more people and to you guys, my faithful fans, friends, family, and subscribe. If you aren't already subscribed, please do. I have a lot of fun videos planned for the rest of the year and even more for 2026, which is fastly approaching. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, and happy reading. Okay, bye.